Now, in just over a year, the Jamaican track and field team will be using Birmingham as their training base for the London 2012 Olympics. It strengthens ties with the region, where thousands of Jamaicans have chosen to make their homes.
In the first of three special reports on Jamaican connections, our arts and culture reporter Satnam Rana speaks to one man who's become a leading figure in the Jamaican community.
June the 22nd, 1948. 500 West Indian men and women who'd fought in World War II disembarked from the SS Windrush to help rebuild Britain.
Citizens of the British Empire coming to the mother country with good intent.
In their footsteps, thousands of fellow countrymen and women followed. The West Midlands, and in particular Birmingham's industrial might, was an attraction. Jobs were plentiful, and soon families began to join their breadwinners. Amongst them, BBC1 presenter Joe Aldred. Born and educated in deep rural Paul Mountain, he left the sunny skies of Jamaica for Smethwick in 1968.
It was a very different climate to Jamaica, I must say. I mean, the first thing I did when I got here was to strip off and ran outside as I used to, teenager. Mom quickly called me back inside, and of course it was so much colder and I wasn't used to it. The people were different too. Next door we had a black family. These days, of course, this area is mostly an Asian community, but back then there were lots of white people around, and it was interesting getting to know everybody. Jesus, I'm coming someday. Jesus,
Smethwick may have been home for Joe, but his spiritual sanctuary was Winson Green and the Church of God of Prophecy.
I'd reconnected with my family when I got to Smethwick. Met some of them at the airport, but then this wider family that I hadn't seen. My dad I hadn't seen for pretty much all my life. But when I came to church, it was like, hey, this is like, I'm back at church in Top Mountain again. It was just kind of interesting and strange and exhilarating and all of those.
28,000 Jamaican-born people live in the West Midlands. You only have to take a look at their places of worship, music, culture, and even broadcasting to gauge a sense of their belonging and contribution. But how do the next generation of British Jamaicans see themselves, especially in light of Birmingham hosting the Olympic Jamaican athletics team? Well, who better to ask than his daughter and BBC Midlands Today weather presenter Janelle Aldred.
Do you know what, actually I'm quite excited about the Jamaican athletics, track and field team coming to stay in Birmingham, because there are so many Jamaicans here, or people of Jamaican heritage. But what does the role of Jamaican in my life? Well, you and Mum cook the food, still cook the food, I cook the food. I feel very Jamaican, actually. Parts of me feel very Jamaican, but parts of me feel very British.
It's a wonderfully bridged culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's that bridged culture which makes Birmingham and the West Midlands home to so many nationalities and a place to celebrate diversity. Satnam Rana, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
And you can join Joe Aldred on Chatback on BBC1 this Wednesday from 10 p.m, when he'll be talking about the impact of Jamaican immigration on the West Midlands and what the 2012 Olympics means for the community too.
Now, after